having this vision. I've been having this vision. Either rise or you fall. I'm on a mission, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags, I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my face, back in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, he never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I never change. That's in my blood, I never change. That's in my blood, I never change.
Welcome back to the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach. We just concluded the final heat of the day, and the 2018 champ came through, Italo Ferreira. How do you feel coming out of the water? You had to wait all day for that performance.
Yeah, that was kind of tiring, you know, waiting for all day for surfing the last heat of the day. But it was a good heat against Ryan. He's surfing good, and he pushed the limit, and he tried different maneuvers, airs, and yeah, tried some big turns, and that was fun.
I like having a theme, and your theme this year on the bottom of your board is Bravo. Tell people what Bravo means.
Bravo, it's kind of like brave, no fear. It's something like that, you know, because I already be a world champion, Olympic champion. I need to restart, you know, to be more energy, more like powerful, you know, and yeah, I need to restart everything to do it again.
Okay, one more question for you. Do you have room in the trophy case for one more bell?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, for like more 10 years. I have a lot of space in my house, so I need more trophies.
You get one more bell? You get one more tattoo?
Not tattoo, but one bell.
Okay. Parabéns. Obrigado. Italo Ferreira coming out. We're going to see him in the round 16, guys.
We sure are. What a performance, and no dramas. He'll win more events. Just put another extension on the house. No dramas. Collecting props money as well, obviously. But Italo just hanging in there, surfing with a lot of speed. Looking great there against Ryan Callanan, and making the jump through to that next round. Welcome to the WSL Post Show. There is so much to talk about. Decimation at the top end of the leaderboard, with the top three falling out of the mix, and an extremely high chance that we're going to see someone else wearing that yellow jersey when we get over to Margaret River. But who knows who it's going to be at this stage. Still so many great surfers left in the mix here. Ronnie Blakey with Shannon Hughes, Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew, Bugs. Some of the best heats we've ever seen here at Bells today, Bugs.
Oh, it was a marvellous day of surfing, and we saw everyone at their best, really. I mean, there were some super close heats, and we saw in the interviews that a lot of emotion. You know, starting with Owen Wright this morning, he was kind of choked up after that first heat. That, to me, said what this day was all about. It was all on the line.
And it was great, Shannon, for us to rock up this morning. Beautiful sunrise once again, but finally that winded back down, and it gave us a chance to see some classic Bells lines.
Oh, it was so incredible to be able to witness that, to see those corduroy lines just rolling throughout the day, and the fact that it was big enough and consistent enough to push through that tide, where the rest of this week we've had to play with those high tides and it's gone too slow. Today it was all on offer for just the best day of Bells.
With Mick having an amazing heat win over Kanoa Igarashi, the current world #1. It gave Kelly Slater a chance, if he could get to the quarterfinals, to get back in that yellow jersey after kicking off the year so well. He came up against Imai Kalani to Vault Bugs, and Imai's one of those guys sitting way down the back end of the leaderboard needing a big result, but the 11-time world champ fired up to kick things off.
Oh, he looked in scintillating form. Kelly Slater, the greatest of all time, and he just surfed like it today, and that opening ride really laid the foundation. And this way for Imai, he just came from way behind in the heat. He needed a massive score. I think he needed an 8-1. He got 4 big moves on the bombing bowl and took the heat.
Yeah, it was huge, and we saw it a lot today, Shannon. We saw surfers from the back end of the ratings, you know, charging and putting up their best performances. The frustration from Kelly on show, and, you know, he really felt he kicked off that heat well. He didn't finish it as strong, but still felt that maybe it should have been a little bit closer. But as a result, this is what we're looking at when we go to Bubble Watch, and still those surfers that came into this one in equal 31st position, all of them bar Ryan Callanan, still in the mix.
It's so exciting to see that those ones still have a chance, because they really, really need a finals result here to have a chance heading into Margaret River to get above that cut line. It's really do or die now.
Yeah, realistically, Bugs, they're probably not going to get up towards that top 10 if they're that far back. But have a look at those empty spaces. Connor Coffin, Ezekiel Lau, those guys at the back end of the late teens, just dangerously inside the cut line. That they're going to be nervous watching the completion of this contest.
Yeah, there's a lot of points on offer, and I think that those backhand guys, what they've done is just, it's a glimmer of hope. It means it will come down to Margaret River. You know, before that, you know, one slip up today and that's it. They were out. And it's going to be all on Margaret's, but it's all on for Bells for the rest of the tournament, because the big points at the pointy end of the tournament up for grabs.
Big performances. The road gets harder still for those later seeds coming up against guys who are showing great form and charging through the rounds. Some amazing matchups. Shannon, what do you like for the round of 16?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to all of them. They're pretty outstanding, but I'm really excited to see this heat number 2 between Jackson Baker, who is really in form right now, coming off that big win at home at Newcastle, and just really light and excited, up against an extremely in form Ethan Ewing. He was the surfer of the morning. Obviously went outdone by John's heats in a couple of those, but honestly the guy to really pay attention to in this one, and I think it's going to be a very well-matched battle.
Yeah, Ethan this year, he's had great surfing, great style, Bugs, for a while, but there's extra power, there's more consistency in the performances. But Jackson Baker, he just smells of confidence at the moment after getting that big win up at Newcastle. He's
a dangerous customer. He looks so good out here, and they both do. I mean, Ethan, though, gosh, he's surfing at a whole nother level to what he has been even in the past few years. But that's a heck of a heat. Good call, Shannon.
What about for you, Bugs? What's the big matchup you're looking forward to?
Oh, look, it's a bit of a left field one, because it's Mick Fanning and Callum Robson. I'll tell you why. Mick Fanning, he was at Narrabeen last year. It didn't happen for him. He had a shocker at Bells in his first round. He surfed for a bit of pride at Winky Pop. Today, he surfed so good today that I actually think on the horizon is another Bells trophy. Callum Robson is fearless. You know, it was all on the line. You can see at the end of his heat today how much it meant to him. A 17th place, that would have been 3 17ths. A 9th or better, 3 9ths or better. I think he made the cut today.
Wow, that's huge for him. If the conditions are the same as what they were when Mick took on Kanoa Igarashi, does Callum have a chance? Mick was in vintage form today.
I do think Callum's got a big chance. I mean, you know, Mick is in incredible form, but Callum, as I said, he's fearless. I mean, he surfs with so much confidence. He did not look like falling today. His wave choice was good. His power moves are amazing. Yeah, I think he's got a real shot.
For me, the heat of the next round is going to be John Florence up against Morgan Sibley. I don't think there's too many people in the round of 16 that hold a 2-heat advantage over John. Of course, those big heat wins that he had last year against John during this Australian leg, they'll be fresh in his mind when he takes on the most informed surfer of the contest. Let's have a look at what unfolded today. Last time we saw these two meet in a championship tour heat, it was at the Pipeline event, and we saw huge numbers. Today, Shannon, we saw the best heat score total that we've seen all year.
Oh, it was such an unbelievable matchup with John and Joao just going wave for wave. I think that's what was so incredible, is the two of them pushing that performance to the next level, those 7s, those 6s, and then to get those 8s and those 9s for both of them across the board. It's the best heat that Joao Chianco has probably ever surfed in his life, and to go down just a fraction behind the best and the highest heat total of the men's draw this year in John Florence.
It's dangerous when you see a great heat on paper, Bugs, to invest too much into it. Sometimes the conditions let you down, but Bells was probably more alive in this heat than what it was all day.
And I mean, that's what happens, I think. The top seeds, they draw all that energy. They got the good tide. Look at the conditions. They're amazing. And, yeah, this is when it really, really pumped today. It was so good.
We got to hear from Joao Chianca, and he was super disappointed, obviously, but he was getting so much support, so many big pats on the back for the performance he put together. Have a look at his heat score total. Would have won every other heat in the round.
Every other heat. That is unbelievable. I mean, the surf was on fire, but the fact that both of them rose to the occasion to perform to a near perfect results was one thing we'll never forget.
Yeah, it was huge. I just think that kid's got a really bright future. His style is so unique. It's got a little bit of Sebastian Zeitz in it. It's got similar speed and acceleration out of those calves to a Felipe Toledo, Bugs. I don't really think it matters what happens for him this year. I think he'll be a championship tour for many years to come.
Oh, he's really strong, Ronnie. I think he's got a huge future in the sport, and I think he announced his arrival today.
Let's have another look at another classic battle. Felipe Toledo, he's the guy that's going to step up now with a huge opportunity to seize that yellow jersey if he can get himself into the quarterfinals. He was too strong for Mikey Wright today, Shannon.
Yeah, really impressive performance from both of them. Great to see Mikey back in a jersey, going for those big laybacks and just putting some blows down here at Bells. I mean, look at that. That's the kind of stuff we want to watch in free surfing and contest surfing all day long. But Felipe is hungry. He wants to walk away the world champion this year. Not just making the cut, not just the top 5, but the world champ. And he knew he was going to bring it today.
He sure did. Yeah, classic. I ran into Shanae, who is Mikey Wright's wife, down on the steps, and he was umming and ahhing about coming back and competing. She said, no, you're doing it. I want a holiday. I want to get down there and check it out. He put on a great performance, Bugs.
This was actually the most entertaining heat of the day because Mikey laid down a platform, and Felipe, he had to come from behind in this heat.
Yeah, and he just performs so well whenever he's on a right-hander in that, you know, even just slightly above head, the double overhead. We saw it at Trestles last year. He's got so much to give, an incredible variety.
Oh, so much variety, and that's exactly what he's brought so far. And I'm really excited to see Felipe and what he brings to the rest of Bells Beach this week alone, dropping scores like that against someone like Mikey Wright. And where's the progression going to come in that Felipe's going to bring through?
Well, that was a really close one when you look at the numbers there, and just on the exchanges, it was, you know, it was close. Mikey had the better backup, but Felipe just edged ahead with that big score. Yeah, super impressive though. Great heats across the board, and a lot of heats going right down to the wire, which we actually really love here in the booth. Some heartbreaking moments too, though.
So many heartbreaking moments, but it's moments like that that give us as commentators, that give the fans as well, that moment to really get our heart racing just as much as I'm sure the guy in the jersey.
Most definitely. Bugs, Kelly Slater, we spoke about his aura, his presence at an event. He always just drags a huge crowd, but here at Bells Beach, the number one star is Mick Fanning, and the crowd turned out big time for him today. Even the competitors area lit up. All those competitors loved watching Mick compete. He had a tough draw. Kanoa's been on fire.
Well, he was against world number 1, and Mick had the crowd absolutely roaring, and he's going into his preheat. Both of them did a really amazing preheat sort of ritual and got ready for this heat. Kanoa knew he was up against a champion out of the Bells Bowl, and wow, did Mick Fanning turn it on.
Would Mick have been just rubbing his hands together, seeing some clean, classic Bells lines this morning?
That's all he wanted. He just wanted classic Bells to... He said he wanted to come and put on a performance.
Have a look at the difference in the conditions from the start of their heat to the end. I really feel like this change in the conditions worked in Mick's favour. He has served so many heats in varied conditions at this location over the years.
It's so much of that experience here that goes on to pay off, and that's where we keep wondering, is it going to be the veterans that take over? Having a look at that turn once again as well, being able to witness it here down on the beach was so exciting, but it's definitely that experience that took the edge over Kanoa Igarashi, who has struggled to find big results out here at Bells. It's unfortunate to see him go down in the round of 32 again, because he has been all-time and should definitely be in that conversation for world titles come the end of the season.
Oh, he is for sure. It was a real surprise to not see him in the mix at the end of last season. And he gave himself that clutch moment at the end and performed pretty well. And the boys breaking it down after what was an epic battle. But yeah, Mick Fanning just too strong today. And Mick, like the true athlete that he is, got up to the event site, grabbed himself a meat pie and celebrated.
Awesome. That's Aussie style.
That's not the old classic Mick. Mick used to get into a protein bar and a shake, roll out on the Swiss ball, but it's a little different. His post-heat ritual these days.
Well, he may need to go back to it. He did mention in his post-heat that he was feeling pretty winded coming in from so many laps. I mean, the full leg burners out here at Bells, as well as a leg cramp. Laura called it out from the booth. We saw it from Mick grabbing that leg, and it's gonna be interesting to see if he can battle it out in a tough finals day. Yeah, they always say when you get down here to Bells Beach, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to face so many different conditions, but we were lucky today. We had epic waves and we saw some classic rides. Let's check out the Boost Mobile wave of the day. There was so many to pick from.
but it could only go to one place. Let's have a look at it. John Florence, his timing was just so spot on today, Bugs. He didn't waste any opportunities.
Oh, but this wave here was absolutely sensational. John at his best. The degree of difficulty is outrageous on this wave. I mean, you know, I only think he's the only one who could have surfed it this way. Everything just squeezed in. It was all on the outside bowl, and that's his way of saying, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, really given the opportunity with that much of a perfect canvas to open up in front of him, and then to see his engagement of the rail, the speed, power, flow, and those laybacks thrown in the mix with that variety, exceptional.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff from John. Just love the power that he put on display. Well, we've still got the top 5 moments from the day coming your way, but stay with us. This is the WSL Post Show. Ronnie Shannon and Bugs here on the WSL Post Show at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach today. It had so many highlights. We have to slow them down because they all happen so quickly. The world's best were on fire today, Bugs. Really performing well here on the Bells Bowl.
I mean, everyone surfed really well today. I mean, you know, even the ones that lost their heats, they put in superb performances. This is the world's best surfers. It was a real treat. I'm sure the folks at home enjoyed the whole day because we did.
Yeah, it was epic, Shannon, and I love these opportunities to have a look at just how on edge these competitors are and just how much speed they move with.
Oh, it's so true. And I think with performances like this, as you mentioned, Bugs, that the top were performing that made it through, but also every guy that was knocked out today put together an outstanding performance. It's going to be one of those days that goes down in the history of Bells Beach surfing.
And it was such a pivotal day, this round of 32 at this event, the penultimate event before the cut. Today was the go forward day, or the day where you need to regroup for Margaret River.
We absolutely loved it, and the crowd taking its time just to get their breath back before they attack the long walk back up to the car park and settle in for a big night's rest in anticipation of potentially getting competition back underway tomorrow. Great conditions. I can't believe how this forecast turned around for us.
Well, I mean, a week ago we were going, gosh, it'll be a winky pop every day, and it's turned into a most classic day at Bells today for the size, and the conditions stayed good, although there was a little bit of fluff on the surface in that Mick Fanning heap, but then it turned glassy again. So good.
Yeah, and it just changed the approach for the competitors. They suddenly went from those big rail turns into the air. We saw some big airs laid down this afternoon, which was awesome. Let's dive into the Surfline forecast here. All that activity, Shannon, is just so welcome in an event window.
Oh, it's so exciting to see that reinforcing southwest swell pushing through for the weekend, especially with Easter on the horizon. We've got just another flush of swell that's going to be coming through, and that's really exciting to see.
It's all lining up beautifully, Bugs, and more good wind direction for us as well as we move into the weekend.
Yeah, it's looking like the wind's going to go more offshore, and tomorrow it's looking at 4 to 7 foot. That's going to probably be about a 5 foot here at Bells, and then the next 2 days are looking like really good.
We love that. Yeah, great to have Surfline back with us again. Just giving us the rundown on what's coming our way, and really, I think but Bells has a habit of providing some pretty great conditions, and it's going to do it once again here. But yeah, an amazing day from start to finish. I'm kind of gassed actually, but looking forward to getting into bed and doing it all again tomorrow. Oh,
it's going to be a great day tomorrow. A lot of anticipation. Big names, men's and women's are on call, and yeah, I can't wait.
Bring it on. We're at that perfect time in the afternoon to really reflect on what were the best moments that we watched unfold. Let's get stuck into the top 5, kicking things off with Kaloa Andino and a fiery finish to his round of 32 heat.
Well, he honestly did everything he thought he could up until that final wave. He laid it down, he brought the rail, he brought such a variety of turns, those tail slides, really pushing the limits. And just asking the judges what else could he do, and this is what he brought. A massive alley-oop, the biggest risk that we've seen on the outside section of the event. Judges rewarded it just enough to take that leading edge.
Well, he didn't have to ask the judges. That they kind of gave him the answer in the scores that he was getting, so he knew what he needed to do on the outside. Big alley-oop, finished this one off on the inside, and then started really asking the question, what do you want? It was an epic way to finish.
It was so epic because, you know what, he really needed that wave. He was way behind, and there was a high degree, as Shannon said, I mean, a massively difficult maneuver to perform on the bowl, and he pulled it off.
And he got the jump on Jadson Andre. At number 4, it's Ethan Ewing. Sublime rail work on the outside, Bugs. This guy's starting to really come into his own. He's the highest rated Australian on the tour, and he wants to keep climbing this ladder.
Gosh, he just looks so good out here in the Bells Bowl, and it's poetry in motion. He's just so connected. The power moves so subtle, and when you slow it down, you just see how good he's turning.
Yeah, shades of Fanning, shades of Andy Irons in there. It's all done with so much speed and style. It's great to see.
The technical performance in it is outstanding, and the flow, the linking between the maneuvers, as good as each of those carves are, it's that smooth linking that really stands out to the judges, and he's well rewarded for it today.
Well, the day kicked off in really exciting form. Owen Wright going up against Griffin Colapinto. Griffin coming off a win over there in Portugal. Owen just desperate to get himself off the bottom of the ladder. It was great to see Owen really start to flare up.
So exciting to see him find some rhythm out there, especially in conditions like this, to look powerful on his backhand. He's got his wife, his kids here on the beach, the whole family. And for him to know that he was going up against Griff straight off that win at Portugal, and Griffin's been finding some rhythm as no longer being the underdog in these heats. And Griff would have come out thinking he was the one with the upper hand on Owen, and Owen really needed to bring it through, and that buzzer beater, he got it done.
Yeah, it was huge. He was emotional after this one, Bugs.
Oh, it really was. I mean, this meant so much to Owen. He's languishing at the very bottom, and, he's used to being near the top, and this would have been a hard one. And like both those guys surfed so well, this was the closest heat today, I reckon.
A very close one. And then going to one of our favourite battles today, Kelly Slater up against Imai Kalani DeVault, who referenced the fact that he was surfing at this iconic location against the most iconic surfer of all time, and he brought it.
Oh, so exciting to see the Grom just out there able to perform, to have that belief that could carry him past the round of 32 as well within his season, and to start finding that rhythm and the results, and to be able to hold that composure against Kelly Slater of all people, I am so proud of this kid.
Yeah, he's done really well today, and it was a massive moment for him, something that he'll celebrate for a long time. You just never know how many chances you're going to get to surf head-to-head against Kelly, and to come away with a win is huge. For Kelly Slater, extremely frustrating. He had an amazing start. He had the opportunity to get back to that number 1 position.
That was it. We saw his frustration in his failure, and that's going to be that hunger.
Yeah, he'll be very motivated when we get to Margaret River. But number 1 today, it's the heat of the year so far. Both surfers really lighting up the Bells Bowl. John Florence, Joao Chianca, and John just too strong. But Joao, a performance he could be proud of, Bugs.
Well, you know, this was a heavyweight showdown. It turned into it when John and Ross Williams were standing on the cliff. They knew they were in for a big heat. This was turned into the best heat of the tournament of the year so far. This wave here is just a cut above.
Yeah, I love just the way John's able to really harness the speed that he gathers down the line. He is incredibly good at gaining momentum, but he doesn't wash speed off before he attacks sections. And this guy, he just had a different level of spark to maybe any competitor in the draw today.
Oh, for Joao coming in his rookie season to be able to find waves like this unfolding here at Bells Beach. He had a couple mistakes, and that would be the only thing that helped John get that edge over him.
You just got to put your hands together for surfing like that. That was unbelievable. Joao Chianca on that last wave actually sort of stuffed the last turn, but the work that he did prior to that, he still managed 9.23.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's just how much damage he did. For scores like that, usually you got to ride it right through to the shore break, get that big finish in as well. But yeah, super impressed with what he's done, and it's just kind of a head scratcher to see him so far down the leaderboard.
Yeah, no, he really deserves to be further up, but he's got many years ahead of him, and today he showed that he can surf with the best in the world. And you know, he came from behind. He was so comboed before that wave, and he showed true grit to be able to pull out a 9.23 under incredible pressure.
Still got to get through the round of 16 for the men to establish our quarterfinals there. But Shannon, the quarters are set for the women, and there is some monster clashes in the mix.
Oh, I am so excited to see the women's quarters get underway. Courtney Conlock, Sally Fitzgibbons, Carissa Moore, Steph Gilmore, all of them with bells already. These trophies sitting at home looking for more. But a couple that are really powerful, really consistent surfers in Bronte, Tyler, Brisa, and Joanne sitting in that top 8 equation who could so easily walk away with a win this week.
They just want to start their bells collections. The surfers in the other heats between them just have, you know, they could start a church and fill it and
It's so
play
true.
the bells. But it's going to be a fantastic showdown here at this contest. It's shaping up to be one of the classic years, Bugs.
It's going to be a beauty. We're so stoked. I mean, the quarterfinals of the women's are looking so balanced. The round of 16 of the men's, bring it on.
You ready to go again tomorrow, Shannon?
Oh, I don't know. We need some sleep. We need some new energy and some coffee. There's been so much surfing. It's been unbelievable, but the excitement levels are all time.
I'm going to go out and celebrate. I'm going to have an all-nighter tonight and come here just ready to go tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. We'll leave you with the highlights of what unfolded here today, and hopefully we can collect more of those tomorrow. See you then.
Surfers might be falling off the championship tour.
I'm bummed. Sucks. Really important round with the mid-year cut. I know what I got to do. Yo, there's a time limit.
We never had pressure like this at Bells Beach.
Beautiful scenes this morning here. There is a buzz on the steps.
It's going to be a great day, Ronnie. It's a day of reckoning.
Wow. Up it. Game on.
Everybody can feel it, knowing that their job could be on the line. Some veterans are feeling more pressure than they've ever felt in their career.
Owen sizing this wave up, and he's going to go. He throws his hands down.
We can tell that you need it. How are you feeling?
Bit emotional. Haven't passed that round for a while.
Nat Young on his backhand, straight up into the lip. Jacko Baker, he's finding it here in the bowl.
Jordy is going to go. No interference called.
What a moment for the young Australian.
Ethan Ewing holding that rail.
All carve, all power.
This is a heat for the ages. When this man's on fire, he is unstoppable.
Toledo will take this wave as a victory lap.
You got Zeke, meanwhile, the big layback slash.
So far, so good for O'Leary. It's a 6.53. He gets it.
Here we go, John now up the back.
John Florence, that was mastery.
That was spectacular.
World number 1 on the windup. Passion and fire out of Igarashi. Getting even louder because Fanning's approaching the bowl.
Oh, wow.
The yellow jersey could be in jeopardy. Fanning takes out world number 1. Callum Robson, the rookie, celebrates.
Kolohe Andino driving down the line. Into a huge opening maneuver.
That was crazy. That was sick. Oh, my God.
And he's kicking off here in the round of 32 with a lot of spark. Nemai's going to have a shot now. Nice layback. Going to the rail. Whoa. Slater out of the contest. Massive performance from Imai Kalani DeVol. He is buzzing.
Jack Robinson goes to the air for the alley-oop.
This is an excellent score, a 9-1-7.
Ferreira flying into a big section, crushes it there off the roof. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.